Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 40342. This is the Ninjago minifigure pack 2019. Set number 40342, containing 59 pieces, retailing for $12.99 in the United States, and this was released on June 1st. It was a LEGO store exclusive, and it may or may not be retiring at the end of 2019, and it's currently sold out at LEGO.com. So maybe this is gone and you guys won't have the chance to get this after this review, at retail price at least. And in which case, I don't know, but, you know, it doesn't say temporarily out of stock or anything, so it could be gone forever. And the Spider-Man one is rumored to be retiring, but we'll see. I'm going to take a look at it anyways, because, you know, this is one of the ones that I was very, very excited for because of Clutch Powers. Here's the full thing all built up. We do have 4 figures here, so we're going to take a look at all those very soon, but we're just going to start off with this really small little side build. It's, you know, nothing crazy. You know, it's all just relatively simple build for a weapon stand. But we do have this torch thing, which interestingly uses one of these pyramid pieces on the bottom, which is kind of neat. And then we have a flame here, which you could remove and use that if you want to, but I think it's just supposed to look like this. It has a little bit of fire going on it. We've got these blade pieces here, 2 of them, which you can use as weapons for your ice samurai dude. And these, I think, are supposed to push down a little bit further, but I could not get them to go down through the second one of those holes. Which, those are both hollow studs, so it should go, it just didn't want to. And then we do have an shield here as well, which is a color scheme of the fire snakes, but it has a ice stud on there, so I guess it's supposed to be for the ice samurai guy. But, you know, just a couple weapons here. Really simple build, but some decent parts next to get those pyramids. So, first up for figures here, we have the one and only Clutch Powers. And if you don't know who Clutch Powers was, he was actually the star of the first ever LEGO movie, released in 2010, called The Adventures of Clutch Powers. And they didn't actually ever make any sets based on the movie. They instead based the movie on existing sets, sort of, in a way, because it sort of combined Power Miners with Space Police with Knight's Kingdom. It's actually a pretty decent movie. If you have any interest, I, wouldn't recommend not checking it out. So this is interesting though, because it's the first time that this character has been made, because I actually reintroduced him to the LEGO world in Ninjago Season 11, and it's a really cool little exclusive figure. Happy to get him. The hairpiece is, perfect, exactly what it looked like from the movie. Which, this isn't a new hairpiece or anything. It's Lloyd's hair from, the first seasons, and, it's a nice part to get here. It works perfectly fine. Here we see that his eye patch is fake, and it does have the Clutch Powers logo on his torso, as well as a black version of a LEGO Batman movie belt, and there's a little bit of printing on the bottom of the front of his torso that is obscured. The torso for this figure works fine for the Clutch Powers movie version of the character. It's not spot on. He's sort of has it pulled in a little bit more than on the movie version. But his face print here is significantly different because he's a lot older and has the beard. He had no facial hair or eye patch in the movie, so if you wanted a movie version of Clutch Powers, you're going to have to swap out the face. But it's not, there are certain faces that are relatively common in city sets that do at least approximate his look very well. So, this is cool to get, especially the torso piece for any fans of the original movie. Kai here, though, is sort of a mismatch between the Legacy version and the Season 11 version of the character. He does have the new Season 11 mask and armor piece, but his torso and legs are just the Legacy version, which is kind of a bummer. It would have been nice to just get a straight-up Season 11 version. Not that that version is super rare, it only comes in big sets. Like, it comes in the $20 Kohl's, whatever it's called, the Kohl's bike. I don't remember the name. But it does have this cool armor piece, also, which has a nice little symbol molded up on the shoulder, and it fits a sword through it. It's a cool part in gunmetal gray, and it's have a little bit of back printing on his torso, but this torso and legs were very common across the Legacy range. I think it came in a poly bag too. And here we have one of the Pyro Destroyers, and this is a pretty neat figure. It does appear in 5 sets total across the Season 11 wave, so it's not exclusive to this set, but for anyone who's, who's not really into Ninjago but grabs this set for, clutch powers, then I think you'll find this figure interesting. I do like the shield in this copper color, and he also gets a torch, which makes sense because it's a pyro destroyer. But this is the same shield that we saw on the little weapon rack. You just get a second one here, and this is uncommon as well, only appearing in these 5 Ninjago sets. But the headpiece is a really cool mold. It's actually got a little bit of translucency to the eyes molded in there. It is a little bit hard to get unless I were to take a light back here and shine it straight at you, which I don't want to do because I don't like the video look weird. But, it's very hard to make it out unless you are, like, perfectly lined up. But it is cool that they got that amount of detail in there. It looks cool from certain angles. It's the same sort of deal as these flames on the back of his neck, and it looks cool. I like that piece quite a bit. And it does have the little snakes molded onto his shoulder pads with that exclusive armor piece, exclusive to the Pyro Destroyers, that is, not this set. And, it does have a little bit of triangle that comes down, and that gets covered by the headpiece, and there's a single stud on the back, and underneath, the torso and legs make him look sort of like a fire mummy, and that's some cool printing. I like it. The fire is like a interesting art style that, I don't know, it's like not super realistic, but I find it really cool looking. So, overall, I'm happy with the way that this figure turns out, and, it's nice to get a taste of it since I haven't gotten any of the Season 11 sets, because I usually operate a season behind. And then we have the Blizzard Samurai, and this one is slightly more exclusive than the Pyro Destroyer was. That shoulder armor piece, which is originally introduced in the LEGO Movie 2 sets, it is molded here in this, like, Train's light blue color, and, it's a cool looking part, and it only comes in 3 sets total, including this one. This is the cheapest way to get it, by quite a bit, so, it's definitely a cool thing to get. The torso print is also a little bit uncommon. It's, it's got the ice around the top, and this one is designed for the characters that don't have the special ice armor piece, which it would have been really cool to get that here. The helmet is also just a regular samurai helmet in dark red, which again, it would have been cool to get the specially molded Season 11 one, but this combination of parts is actually a little bit less common than that, and the face print is nice, alternate expression as well, so you can kind of make him look a little bit different and not like everyone else, and the leg print is pretty decent. His weapon is relatively simple, but uses another one of the cool parts, so, this is fine, but even though it's a little more exclusive, I think it's probably it's the less interesting of the 2 bad guys in the set, to me, personally. So, overall thoughts, I think that this is nice. I think it's a reasonable value for $13. Getting 4 figures for that price, it's cheaper than the price of a CMF. The Clutch Powers figure is definitely worth that price. The bad guys, I don't think that they're much of a draw to the set, but I think if you're buying the set for Clutch Powers and you get those to expand your, armies of the respective factions of bad guys, then you'll appreciate it. I don't know how I feel about the little weapon stand, because I feel like maybe it would have been better to get 2 separate ones, just so that, you can have an ice one and a fire one, because it's a little bit weird combining the 2, but, that's kind of a nitpick, because, it does what it's supposed to and holds extra weapons for you. The Kai figure, I'm not a huge fan of, because, like, it feels like just give us either one or the other version. Like, I mean, yes, the Legacy one is super duper common, so I'm glad that we didn't just get that straight up released, but I still feel like it would be more valuable that way than it is here, because here is kind of a combination, and you don't really need the combination. You'd rather have either the full Season 11 suit or the full Legacy suit. I don't know. But overall, I think that value for money is pretty alright here. This is about what I would expect it to cost. I got it for 20% off, $10.39, which I think that's a reasonable price for a figure set. yeah, it doesn't have the most interesting build ever, but, you know, and like there are sets that do 4 figures for $10 or for $13 or $10 better with better side builds, but you know, I don't think that this is too unreasonable of a price for this, and you know, if you are interested, I would recommend it. However, as I did note earlier in the video, it is temporarily out of stock, or well, it is listed as out of stock. We don't know whether or not it's temporary on Lego.com, so if it's retired, it kind of went a little bit fast, and you know, unfortunately, keep an eye out for it in your Lego store, I guess. But if it does come back, that's great, and you know, I would definitely recommend it if you see it back up there at regular price or at $10.39. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.